This past weekend, I was in Las Vegas, Nevada, competing in Level Up Expo against some of the best players like Kakoma, Rang Chu, King Ray Jr., and of course, Arslan Ash was there. Now, Arslan was in my pool, but if I wanted to fight him, I would have to win 4 games straight, and that was no easy task. Before I played any of my matches though, I actually got to meet Arslan and talk to him for a little bit. I told him I really wanted to win my matches and get the chance to fight him, and he wished me the best of luck. Now, the player I was worried about going through was Fear of Silence, one of the best Dragunov players in North America. If I wanted to fight Arslan, I would have to beat him, and that would be no easy task. I spent a lot of time before the tournament labbing and trying to learn how he plays so I could be prepared to beat him in order to fight Arslan. But there was one match before that I overlooked. My match against Big Dame was so insanely close. I kind of overlooked the match like I said and was more focused on fighting Fear of Silence and Arslan, and I really let my guard down against him. My match against him ended up being final round. Both of us had barely any HP and there was 5 seconds on the clock. And honestly, at that point, I was just going by pure instinct. I ended up getting the final hit to win and was moving on to fight Fear of Silence. But man, after that match, I was so nervous. My adrenaline was rushing, but I had to compose myself. I ended up walking around a little bit, getting some water, and getting ready for my match against Fear. Now, this was it. This was the match I had been preparing so hard for. If I wanted to fight Arslan Ash, I would have to beat Fear, and I really gave it my all. It was a very close match, but I ended up pulling through in the end. Shout out Kid for helping me lab Dragunov and get all the knowledge I needed to be prepared for the match, and do as well as I did. And now, of course, it was time to fight the man himself, Arslan Ash, the 7-time EVO champion.
I'm not impressed.
Typically when I go into these matches on the big stage, I usually feel very nervous and I'm not able to play the best that I can. But going into this match, I actually felt really good and was able to calm my nerves a lot. And I think it really shows in this first round that I'm just going to let play out for you guys.
So much more in that matchup. Yeah. He is a control player. Back in the Kazumi and Tekken 7, now on the Nina here, it kind of makes sense. Big slide.
Oh, wait, Chonkies? He's like, I'm the underdog. You have everything to lose. I got nothing to lose other than prove myself here. And we're already getting it started.
And obviously the round isn't over, but
Oh, God! Holy. All right, this round's going great for Chonkies. Last season, that would have been over already.
Now, even though that first round was great, I wasn't really able to emulate that again. It felt like every situation after that, he kept beating me to the punch and I wasn't able to get that much momentum. Right there you saw I did down forward 1-1 and he just pressed after. A lot of people would think that's like mashing, but he really just caught me playing out of frame right there. I should have done an option that would have been a lot quicker. And right there I go for the forward 3, he instantly does the crouch option. And again, I go for something out of frame. It was a lot of little situations like that where he's just beating me to the punch. One of the things that Arslan said to me after our match was, I honestly needed to improve on my matchup experience with Nina, and that was the big thing that I was missing in this match. A lot of situations, he's just catching me a little bit out of frame, and he's able to keep his pressure and his dominance that way. It was a good feeling knowing that I played solid, but just needed to lab a little bit more, and of course we can all lab a little bit more, but when Arslan Ash tells you you need to lab, you got to take it serious. He's just executing his offense really well, and I'm not able to put a stop to his offense that well because, like I said, I don't know the matchup as well as I should. Another thing Arslan told me was he actually watched my replays and was trying to figure out what kind of player I am. It's funny because he won the rock, paper, scissors and he picked player 2 because he thought I played on P2 mainly, but I told him I was on P2 in my replays just because I needed to practice. But it was kind of an eye-opener to me, because I wouldn't think that someone like Arslan would need to lab his opponents and figure out little things like that to have the advantage, but it really goes to show that these players are the best of the best for a reason, and they take every opponent very serious. They're not willing to let little things go by and make any little mistakes. They want to make sure they have everything covered for their match and make sure that they're fully prepared. And that's something I'm going to take into account for sure in all my future matches. I'm never going to be lacking on any matchup experience or anything like that. Shout out my teammate Nomar for coming up on stage to coach me and help me out. I pretty much told him the same thing is that I felt like he was just beating me in these little situations and always getting the hit before me. And I remember him telling me just to clean up my gameplay a little bit. He said I was playing good, just to rely more on the jab and in these little situations not throw out a slow option, because that's how he was catching me most of the time, with something quick. And I took all that into account, and I was fully prepared this next match to do better than I did last time. Now I'm gonna let the last rounds play out, but you guys let me know what you think I could have done better and what I did good in these last rounds. And at the end, I'm gonna say what I think, and we'll see if we thought the same thing.
Here, and it's gonna work out.
Right, and there's a calmness that comes with having 3 rounds of full HP bars and 3 rounds as a resource, because he's not concerned that he got killed for it one time. The other guy's got to prove he can keep hitting it.
That's the endurance test right there.
Oh,
Ooh, trade hell sweep. We'll take those.
stack number 1. Yes,
Whoa.
360 degrees ground pound.
Lightning God.
Oh my.
Damn, didn't even get to use his heat. Smart choice from Arslan there.
Okay, just keeping the frame situation tight. Counter hit, heat smash. That hurts. Oh my goodness, he's dead.
Forward 4-2 usage? I haven't seen that either.
Yeah, I've seen him use forward 4-2 stance to even evade some keep out. Like he'll whiff it and then go under.
Oh, that was
Arslan's getting
sick.
sneaky.
Yeah, he's opening up the tricks.
Counter.
Sidestep 4.
Sidestep 1 adjustment, fixing the axis for the
Beautiful
clean back
parry.
splat.
Burst and then step left to keep the wall axis as straight as possible.
Oh, no clean splat.
Did he get it in time? No! He didn't get the burst out in time. The heat smash is gonna break the glass. Arslan on set point now.
Her leg was out there because frame by frame. Is it gonna beat it? Okay. Not biting on the stagger
4-2
pressure.
again? Yeah.
Amateur.
Rude.
Okay.
Jailing low high.
Oh yes, confident responses. Hell sweep, hell sweep. Third stack, does he use it? I would use it.
Dude, the burst there was actually so smart. Tekken players love the ducked up goose, 2 lows, then a mid. And he's like, this one's gonna be a mid. Let me get the turn back.
Uh-oh. He might not get to go Warrior Instinct. Don't save it for the losers bracket, but when do you get it?
Wipe the floor to take it.
Now there was a lot of situations where I just tried playing out of frame when I know he's going to play frame tight and he's not going to let me get away with stuff like that. I also feel like instead of just observing what he does after certain interactions, I would try to predict what he's going to do. And he just kept catching me with things that I should have watched out for, but instead I was just trying to play too ahead instead of playing in the moment, if that makes sense. Next time I need to make sure I observe his habits during the match and not try to be too greedy with what I think he'll do and try to catch him with something that isn't going to work on a player like Arslan. I definitely made some similar mistakes in my final match against Avery Rib, where I just kept getting too greedy with what I tried to go for and was trying to, instead of seeing his habits and seeing what he does, just predict what he does. And that's definitely something I learned for the next time, to be a little bit more in the moment and just pay attention to my opponent's habits. But overall, I finished 9th place out of 130 people. Pretty good placement, but I definitely strive to do better than that, and I think I will do better than that in my next tournament. So I hope you guys continue to support me and support my journey on being a pro player. But until next time, this is all I have for today. Appreciate the support as always, and take care.